had a son. He died a long time ago, but it could have been yesterday. When he died, I blamed the world. I blamed everyone for their lack of everything. But mostly I came to blame myself for a sliver of time in his life when I refused to understand him, when I didn't want to look at him or speak to him. It was only 2 years, and he was a grown man, but the fact remained that I was his mother, and I turned my back on him. And during that time, those 2 years, a limb was gone, it felt. Like an arm that I resented and thought would come back one day without my having to apologize to it. He was how he was, and he could live without me and his father. But he didn't want that. He wanted us to be part of his life. And so he was the bigger one. He came to us. He came to the door one day. A mature young man whose only motivation was that he wanted the parents he loved to understand who he was. And I realized how foolish I'd been and how my foolishness rubbed off on my husband, who was just too weak to overrule my resentment. Now, I don't know how I could ever feel like that. Except for the way I was raised, which just simply blinded my sense of I just knew that I wanted him to be part of our lives. And I was so sorry for abandoning him when the world can be so goddamned. So we went back to how it was before I knew, as if those 2 years had never happened. He came over often, we spoke often, we laughed. He told me about his travels and how he loved his job and he could see the world, and he mentioned that his dream was to live on an island one day. And we smiled at the irony that my husband and I barely left our backyard. A few months later, he fell ill, and then he died. He was the dearest thing to me. How strange that you can feel something like that twice.